Pac in imprisonment, claiming his innocence. Currently, I'm the greatest rapper in a sense. But any currency, I'm still guaranteed my wins. This is coming from within, I stuff for real, I don't pretend. When the OG spilling knowledge, bet it's best you soak it in. I'm a prophet to them scholars, got them chakras opening. Got them fixing up they octaves, now they truly focused in. I'm seeing 2020 visions. Daily manifesting on my premonitions. Best to keep it neutral, got my own religion. The brainwash, gotta make your own decision. My word is James Bond, I stay on the mission. Coming for the top position, ain't no...
Coach, it's dreary and miserable throughout much of the Midwest, but we've got football to perk up our spirits. That's the good news. At Paul Brown Stadium, that's where we're at here in Cincinnati. The enthusiasm of this Cincinnati crowd in full effect a moment ago as their Bengals took the field to the delight of this sold-out crowd, and they're all set as they'll match up with the Cleveland Browns. Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Hands up!
3 bugs.
There you go, 368!
Safety's creeping.
Undercrunch.
Shit! Watch.
Hey!
Dalton, 1st and 10. He finds his running back, Mixon. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we get everybody he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
On second down, here's Mixon. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
You better be ready. Don't be scared of it.
1st and 10 for Dalton. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. John Ross, the one he was looking for. And that'll bring up second down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now Dalton. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
So the sack, and now it's 3rd and long for Dalton and the Bengals. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And a fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 18-yard line. It's just a 30-yard punt that time, no return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 18. Now a first-time Pro Bowler from a year ago, Lamar Miller. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Big Geno Atkins there to bring him down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Going up top. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. And that will be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Bengals will take over here, 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups. Check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Throwing again. Dalton going deep downfield for Ross. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Reed. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line.
The good old cover 3 defense, partner. When you start playing football as a safety, that's the first thing you're taught. Middle of the field, be as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, and break on the football when it's thrown and pick it off, just as we saw there.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. To throw, Mayfield. He's going to look deep down the field. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Let's go.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. After the penalty, it's Miller. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Sean Williams that time in on the stop.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
From the 16, Mayfield. Yeah, he'll find Hall. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Baker Mayfield, in all likelihood, is going to be seeing a lot of these Cincinnati Bengals in the coming years, twice this season. And he got off to a great start last year as a rookie against Cincinnati. 7 touchdown passes, no interceptions, and 2 wins. And he has the 1st down before he's tackled at the 5. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up 1st and goal now. Mayfield looks to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. A 5-yard touchdown as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
At the 23-yard line.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Dalton with a give here to Mixon. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Brings up 3rd and 7.
It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on 3rd down. Dalton here from the gun. And he fires one that's intercepted. It's the former Patriot Devin McCourty. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Call that a very strong gain of 24. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, you got a receiver here who's got 1 touchdown already in this first quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there, wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage and make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
On 2nd and 10, Mayfield looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Hall. And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. Miller. And they'll hustle up to stop him well shy of the first, right around the 15.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So unable to convert for the touchdown inside the red zone, but they do come away with 3.
Yeah, it's a 32-yarder. That's essentially an extra point nowadays, right? Because it's 33 as a general rule for these guys. So it should be a simple kick. But you know what's really strange nowadays? When they miss an extra point, I think they carry that with them longer than missing a field goal because an extra point's supposed to be automatic.
Absolutely, and I would think even field goals inside of 30 yards, even though they're substantially shorter than a PAT, it just has a different feel, doesn't it?
A different feel, a different vibe. That's what I get from all the kickers I talk to. They always say if I miss an extra point, that's the one that bothers me more.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And that is intercepted by the Pro Bowl cornerback Denzel Ward. And he will be brought down, but he's got the interception on the final play of this first quarter. The Browns drive about to get started. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Geno Atkins has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't. And a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on on the ground. He's going to end up with a nickname after something like that, some Big Jelly or something like that.
Flushed out right. Eluding the pressure right. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force an incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Going for the deep ball. He's got a man. Complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A big 30-yard play on third.
Set, 180.
Check 52's the mic. Come on, D. No, check this.
Working out of the gun. Mayfield trying to lay one up deep. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on second down. They're going for a receiver there. Already has one touchdown in this first half, a second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves them with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
And it's third down.
Set, 180.
Get away from me.
Throwing, Mayfield. He finds his target, Beckham. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. And they convert on third with a gain of 22.
First down, Browns.
Set, 180.
Get the ball. Watch tight end.
Mayfield down. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They go back to the ground now with Miller. And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. The Browns on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, Mayfield. Escaping the pressure right. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. Sean Williams there defensively to break that one up. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away.
Now a hit and a loose football.
Let's just call that play exactly what it is. Needed, because they wanted to get back in the game, and they knocked the ball free, and now they have a chance to do exactly that.
They got the chance. Now they have to take advantage. The Bengals drive about to get going. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
But one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
2nd and 10. Dalton once more. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Demarius Randall. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
Mayfield to throw it. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Carl Lawson with a little how do you do as he gets in there for the sack.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. He's going to let this one go deep. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete. So the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. So here, the men in charge are going to be looking at whether or not the receiver had possession of the ball as he went out of bounds.
And they have to make sure that the receiver got both feet down in bounds as well.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and a mile. Here's Mayfield. Pressure comes, and down goes Baker Mayfield. Carlos Dunlap able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
46 yards on the boot. The coverage holds him to just 3 on the return. And the Bengals will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a carry for Bernard. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a Bengal 1st down, a pickup of 11.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. And that is incomplete. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Dalton able to hit Ross. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. It's a Bengal 1st down, a pickup of 11.
Bengals 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Hands up, ladies!
I'm scared. Hey, we got tight right.
Hey! Hands up!
They'll run on 1st down. Bernard. Tackle made there by Myles Garrett. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
1-yard gain brings up 2nd.
Out of the gun, it's Dalton. And the catch good, it's Eifert. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
On the screen, Bernard. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Randy Bullock now as he'll go for the field goal. This from 54 yards away. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
The Browns drive about to get started. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Pressure comes, and down goes Baker Mayfield. Carlos Dunlap in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Mayfield in this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack.
Regular. 52, right 52. And done.
3rd and long for Mayfield. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. The Browns send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Shreds the tackle. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Throwing again on second down. Mayfield, and that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was.
And now the ball's out, fumble near midfield, and the Bengals grab it, and they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys have to touch the ball and carry it. They're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
Hey, alert!
They'll try and get the run game going. This is Miller. And some room to maneuver. Lamar Miller. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Lamar Miller, his first touchdown on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line.
The Bengals take over first and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there, because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Now a play fake here on first down. Going deep downfield for Ross. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. He was looking for John Ross that time. That'll bring up second down.
An attempt at a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. Passing again. Dalton on 2nd and 10. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there, because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
There's several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third. Here's Matt Wild now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. They built up that lead at intermission, and they're just continuing to pour it on right now, aren't they?
Locked into a really good groove right now. I don't know if it's just the play calling. I know the execution is really, really sharp right now, and all the playmakers are doing exactly what you expect. They're making plays, and right now, defense has no answer and no chance of catching up.
Yeah, they're just looking to turn anywhere for a stop defensively. And another mistake here defensively as a flag is down on the tackle, and that's going to tack on 15 more. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Mayfield. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Fielded about a yard deep.
The Bengals take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Hands up!
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And
I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Kill.
Another look for Dalton on 2nd and 10. Open man is lost, complete. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. A 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. Dalton now to pass. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of it. Taylor now returning it. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. 10th carry now for Lamar Miller. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
180! Real.
Now Mayfield. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17. Mayfield now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. On 1st down, a running play ends up going backwards as he won't get close to the line of scrimmage. In fact, he's going to lose 4 yards.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Mayfield setting up the screen for Miller. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They go to Johnson again. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Mayfield on 3rd and 2. That's complete to his tight end, Seals Jones. And down inside the 15 he goes.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
A 1st down carry now for Miller. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Lamar Miller with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
Right, the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. So Dalton now. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Demarius Randall that time there to knock it free. And the Bengals on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Andy Dalton. And that's knocked away and incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And out will come the offense as they take over. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 22. No room to be had there on the first down run as he's lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
2nd and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Johnson running right. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. The Browns on 3rd down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. This is 3rd down and 12. Again, it's Johnson. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down.
As much as I praise teams for being true to who they are, in this situation, I wonder if maybe they outguessed themselves a little bit. 3rd down, seemed like an obvious passing situation. They chose to run it and didn't get anywhere close to a 1st down.
Ross on the return. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair.
Let's go.
So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they've been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
70th catch for him on the year, and like so many others, this goes for a first down. They run on first down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7 forthcoming. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. From the 45 on second down, Dalton. And that going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
He's got his man here. It's Green. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. Passing, it's Dalton. And that going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the fourth quarter here. You've held a team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job. Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. To throw again. Dalton, he's going to let it fly. It's caught at the 10. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no 0. Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. The final score now from Baltimore. And the Steelers coming away victorious there. Another victory perhaps in the cards. They're looking as good as anybody as the playoffs draw near. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25.
Let's go.
The Browns drive about to get started. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
At the 24-yard line.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. The Browns in victory formation now as they take the knee. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I'll bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for the Browns,
me so long getting back to my right mind. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind. 5 days straight, no rest, oh well. I don't need no scale. I've been on my, I don't need no help. Always getting money, rains, no sleep. Every day I work my thumb. I don't get to take off. A hater get up. I'm ready like lift off. I've never been nowhere, but I'm ready to stay gone. Nothing ever lasts long. I'm always beating the odds. Taking all these trips, I had to go and get a passport. I'm just trying to live, I don't know what the mad for. I just signed a deal and got a really big bag for it. Still at your mama crib and getting money, you gotta ask for it. Tired of complaining, I got up and changed my situation. Looking at the view outside, I thought I would never make it. Every day these taste, but that don't stop the money making. If you want it, go and take it, ain't no point in hesitating. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind.
Big numbers, big numbers. 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Hey, foreign cars, foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this a jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad being presto. If you wanna come, let's go. We ain't going nowhere special. I just wanna see more desto. Hit your thought, I'ma catch those. Mexican, don't make pesos. Hit your sus, I'll replace those. Number saved, no name though. We need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board like I'm keeping score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist, bullet points of God.
Big numbers, big numbers. 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Yeah, wrist man, check the wrist man, got him hot. Ay, man can't ball like this, man. Lord, past the pig skin when he stretch a distance. I'm talking a few 100,000 yards, you just on your 5th grand.